Hello again and welcome to another edition of Music Matters. I'm MonkeyBoy.
I'm Ziggy.
And today we are talking about one of my favorite bands of all time, Rage Against the Machine.
They are a great band, one of my favorites as well.
I tell you what, I was lucky enough to see them once. And we'll talk about, their live shows, but it was something I will never forget. It was just amazing.
Well, how about a quick little game?
All right, let's play a game.
Okay, let's call it If Not, Who Then?
Okay, if not, who then?
Okay, we are going to discuss the best hair metal bands according to every letter of the alphabet.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't agree, who then?
Okay.
Aerosmith for A. Yes?
For hair bands?
Yep. The best hair metal band for every letter of the alphabet.
What about AC/DC?
Is that your choice?
Yeah.
Okay. Bon Jovi for B.
About Black Sabbath.
Okay. Cinderella for C. Black Sabbath
I'll
is
go
not. Hold it. Go back. Black Sabbath is not a hair metal band.
Yeah, no, you're right. So we're sticking with hair metal. So we're at B. Brittany Fox.
Over Bon Jovi, get out of here. Okay, we're on to C. Cinderella.
No, you get Cinderella's.
The best one.
I think so.
D. Def Leppard.
Oh God.
Because that's a tough one. Because you could put Dio in there. Although Def Leppard is.
I mean, I'm a big Danger fan too.
Okay,
though.
well,
but it has to be Def Leppard.
Okay, Extreme for E.
Yes.
Faster Pussycat for F.
What about Firehouse?
Faster Pussycat, though, they had that LA Guns.
Oh yeah, they were.
They had
that
really raw LA rock.
Yep.
Whereas Firehouse is
they
more
were very polished.
Yeah, very polished. Yeah, I like the raw stuff. Okay, G. Great White.
Yes. I can't think. Oh wait, no, Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. I would say Guns N' Roses is. But are they hair metal? I don't think Guns N' Roses is hair metal. They had the big hair, but they had to fit in.
Yeah, I suppose.
They're a rock band.
Yeah.
So you're sticking with Great White?
I'll stick with Great White. I don't consider them hair metal either, though.
H. Hanoi Rocks. Can you think of, there was Halloween.
Helix.
Yeah.
Hardline.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. So yeah, I'd stick with them.
There's really not many I's, except a band called Icon. Do you know them?
Nah.
Okay, then we'll skip the I's, won't we? J. Junkyard.
Ooh. I forgot about them. I can't think of Jackal.
Jackal would be the better band there. K. Kicks.
Yeah.
But hair metal, you're not going to go with Kiss?
I'm never there. I mean, I guess, yeah.
Kicks is again one of them raw-sounding bands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't consider Kiss hair metal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I don't either. Okay, L.A. Guns.
Yeah, L.A. Guns.
Okay.
Although you did have Lynch Mob.
We did have Lynch Mob, but Motley Crue for M.
I mean, who else are you gonna go with?
Night Ranger for N. I don't really consider them a hair metal band.
I don't either. God, my brain is not working for band names right now. I'll go with them, Night Ranger. What the hell?
Oh, Odin. Do you know Odin?
Not familiar.
There's really not that many O's.
No.
Overkill.
Yeah.
We were on O, and now we're going to P for Poison.
Yeah.
Okay. Q for Quiet Riot.
What about Queensryche?
Queensryche would be the better band. R for Rat.
Yeah.
Okay. Skid Row for S.
I mean, yeah. You got Slaughter, which is good, but Skid Row's better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Skid Row.
T, Twisted Sister. There was a lot of T bands.
Yeah, there were. That's why I'm
Tough.
trying. Yeah, Trickster.
Yeah. But they're looking for the best, so I guess.
I mean, yeah, you have to go with them.
Sister.
Twisted Sister.
You, Ugly Kid Joe.
Yes.
I don't consider them a hair metal band.
I don't either, but they're. I mean,
It
who
works.
else are you going to go with? UFO?
Yeah. Okay. TUV. V. Vane. Do you remember Vane?
I'd go with Vixen.
Yeah, Vixen. Yeah, I'd go with Vixen there. W. Warrant.
Yes.
Okay. Although I would. No, they're not a hair metal band. Sorry.
Widowmaker I'd also put in there, but.
I was going to say Whitesnake, but they're not a hair metal band.
Right.
Okay,
White Lion.
We are on Warrant.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go Warrant, but
Yeah.
White Lion's high up there, too.
Okay, now XYZ is really easy.
Yeah, XYZ's the only one, right?
XYZ, the band XYZ
Yeah.
is the only one. Yeah. Okay, well, hey, that was fun.
Well, Zebra is...
Oh, wait, Y and T.
Yeah, Y&T and Zebra.
With Zebra, yeah, Zebra's on here. Okay, well,
But yeah, there's not many others that were...
that was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I wish my brain worked a little bit faster so I could
Well,
think
we
of
all
those, but,
we
you know,
all we all wish that.
That's what
Andy.
happens when you smoke.
We all wish that. So
Yep.
we're going to talk about a band that formed in
It was 1991, man.
1991. We recall that this is in LA. We remembered it was.
It's a
plastered all
completely
over the-
different... Like, if you're looking at through my eyes in 1991, I'm living in Lansing, Iowa. As far polar opposite of what Los Angeles, California is.
Yeah.
You know? I don't even think there was a... I don't think there was anybody other than a white person in Lansing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But this is, at the time when LA's on fire, there's
LA
riots.
was going
Rodney
crazy.
King had been
Yes, beat.
had been beat.
Corruption everywhere.
Corruption everywhere,
Especially
and-
with the police.
Yeah, with the police, and born out of that despise of police and authority,
And just the whole situation in
and
general.
just the whole
out there.
situation, Rage Against the Machinists formed. I
Yes.
mean, you had some rap groups at the time. Public Enemy
Yep.
would have been one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
That was all over all over these same issues
Yep.
at the time. But Zach De La Rocha, Tom Morello, Tim Comerford, and Brad Wilk form. It's obviously that angst punk.
The thing that is cool about this band is, they all came from different places. You had the punk scene, the metal scene, the hardcore scene, and the funk scene. All merge, and they each take a little bit of that scene to form Rage Against the Machine. You can clearly see a little bit of everything that in each song. You can
And you can almost figure out where the members are, because you had the punkiness of Zach De La Rocha, the funk of bass playing of Tim Comerford. Brad Wilk was a metal drummer, and Tom Morello, I mean, he can handle anything,
everything.
His guitar playing was
It's revolutionary.
it's an I'm not going to try that big fancy word.
Amalgamation.
Yes, thank you. of sounds that he's able to create out of that guitar.
Nobody's done that, though.
No.
Nobody has ever picked up a guitar.
No, I mean he plays funk with his guitar.
He does.
Yeah,
and it's incredible what he does. The sounds, nobody's ever created those sounds. He is on the same level in creativity with the guitar as Eddie Van Halen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, how did four guys from totally different musical worlds create something no one has ever heard before? You know, it's exactly that. They came from these four different places and just combined the best of all the worlds.
Well, you know, Zach comes, you know, he's coming from the rap world, and
yep.
and no samples.
No.
All sounds created by the band.
All created by the band. And they just tore it up. That fusion of rap, metal, punk, and funk. Zero samples. Tom Morello's guitar work, the turntable-style scratching that you'd normally get from, you know, samples. The toggle switch tricks, the whammy pedal wizardry. He just changed the game. He just did. Rhythm section built like a tank. He got the two guys, Wilk and Comerford. I don't think they're. Give me a better bass and
they
drum
were just they were just tight.
You know, just so tight.
They were just tight live.
Yes, unbelievable live.
Yeah,
I mean they just unreal.
Yeah.
Zach's delivery, part MC, part preacher, part protest leader, and that is you can see it in every performance.
There's a band, some other bands that are out there now, obviously thanks to Rage Against the Machine. Now I'm going to brain fart like we always do in the middle of these.
Yes.
I'll think of it later. These that are kind of political bands like Rage.
Yeah.
There's a band I like called Stray from the Path. Their singer sings with that same kind of rage and passion that Zach did. And, even like, I hate to put Code Orange in here, but, those kind of bands
sure.
that just rage. The singer just rages.
Yeah.
They're all over the stage, and
yeah.
And Zach just commanded you to listen.
Absolutely.
He did. He made you pay attention.
Yes. And to what you were saying, what he was saying too. It wasn't just about the rhythm, and the songs weren't just about the hot girl or love or anything like that. These were serious issues they were tackling with a serious message, and people actually listened.
The band I was trying to think of, again, I love this band, so excuse the brain fart. Fever 333.
Oh yeah, okay.
I played them for you before.
Yeah, they're good.
That
yeah.
song "Swing."
Yep.
Swing, bada bada, swing.
Yeah.
He comes out and he preaches a lot. Jason Allen Butler, but he doesn't go too far. He comes out. He talks a lot about peace and love everyone and care for everyone here. If they're playing live at a venue, it's take care of your neighbor,
right,
and all that stuff. He's still politically charged, but I like those guys that just come out on fire and just grab you.
Absolutely. Now, their political identity and lyrical themes was anti-authoritarian, anti-capitalist, anti-racist, and pro-activism. Lyrics influenced by the Zapatista movement, the Black Panthers, anti-war activism, and labor movements. Their debut album cover features the 1963 self-immolation of their... I can't even say this guy's name. But that guy who set himself on fire... that set the tone for their entire career. They didn't just write protest songs, they were the protest. You go to a Rage Against the Machine show and it turns into a protest, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They talk serious about serious issues, and they make you care.
Right.
Yeah. So their debut album, it dropped like a rock. Its self-titled debut on Epic Records contained Killing in the Name, Bomb Track, Know Your Enemy. Sold millions despite zero mainstream radio. None.
I remember that. It was 92. It's MTV.
Yeah, MTV was the only place you found Rage Against the Machine.
That's right.
You would not hear this on radio. They were too... they didn't edit anything, so they let the F words fly, and they were way too controversial for radio at the time.
Yeah, the cover was even controversial.
Yeah, the cover was very controversial. How did a band this radical get signed to a major label and then become one of its biggest acts? That's a great question. Like, somebody really had to take a chance on this band because nobody sounds like them.
Well, and they were supercharged. It's because the demos, they'd brought some demos with them that were supercharged politically.
Yeah.
And this is a new band. Excuse me, but I don't think when you are a new band or a new artist, you want to start off controversially.
Right.
Because that would be detrimental, maybe at this time, and certainly previous to the 90s.
Yeah.
That would have been detrimental to your career. It would have been the death of you to be political.
Yeah. I can't even think of... I mean, you'd have to be in the 60s.
Well, I mean, you're looking at the late 60s Woodstock, where, there was a lot of politically charged people there. But then after that period... Yeah,
it kind of died down.
That peace love, it kind of died down, and everyone's kind of puckered up and began... there was a really kind of a conservative wave that came over.
Yeah.
And people... stopped singing about the political stuff. I mean, there was still some fringe artists out there doing it.
Right.
But people were used to Joni Mitchell singing about that stuff.
Yeah, they wanted the they wanted the fun poppy songs. They didn't want anything serious.
Yeah.
Now, they were known for explosive, politically charged shows. Zach often delivered speeches mid-set. I remember him going off on something.
I've seen tons of videos.
Yeah, he did that. Morello's guitar solos became rallying cries, and fans treated concerts more like protests. I remember seeing them on the Tibetan Freedom Show in, is it... kind of like by Milwaukee or somewhere.
No, yeah.
It was in Wisconsin. And that was an awesome lineup anyway. It was just full of everybody. Like Eddie Vedder was there, Tracy Chapman was there, Blondie was there, Run DMC was there, the Beastie Boys were there.
Was this a political thing?
I think so.
Because the Beastie Boys were political on stage.
Yeah, I want to say it was a political for the
Run
because
DMC
it was Tibetan Freedom Show, so it was about the Tibetan people.
Yeah,
and they were raising awareness for that. But man, I'll tell you what, they came out and just the fire that they lit on stage was not a real fire, but a metaphoric fire. They just came at you with everything, and they sounded exactly like the record. Like, they so tight, so on fire.
How many shows have you been to? And you've been to a lot of shows, and I have too.
Yeah, I've been.
How many of the many shows that you've seen do you recall being immediately just grabbed?
Not many.
I mean, there. It really is. And that's not slamming any artist or band or whatever, but I mean there are maybe 5 live shows out of the hundreds that I've seen where I was grabbed by the band right away.
Yeah.
And by grabbed I mean that's that's where from the minute you come out, you are engaged with that audience.
100%.
They are in lockstep with you. They're going to give you that energy. It's going to come up to you on stage. You're going to give it back, and that's what's going to happen. Everyone's going to be in a good mood. They're going to be vibing all night.
Yeah.
They're going to be, in the mosh pit. They're
Yep.
going to be jumping up and down, waving their hands,
The
whatever.
energy is, yeah.
That I've got you, and
Yep.
we're not letting go till the end.
It's that energy.
Yeah,
And
they're one of those bands.
There's a lot of shows where you get that right at the beginning, but it tapers off, and
there's been a few of those. That,
maybe at the end you get it a little bit too. But
been to a lot of shows
part,
where they come out with a high energy song, and then the next song they do is a
Yeah.
slower ballad song.
Yeah, and they kind of
I'm
lose
done.
you. Yeah.
You want to do that 5 songs in, I can keep going with you. But if
Right.
you do it on the second song,
Yeah.
yeah.
So but Rage, they grabbed you and they took you for a ride, and they were just incredible live. It's sad that they're not touring anymore. I mean, I get it, but
Well, we'll get to that. There's
Yeah.
there's a whole lot entangled in all that nonsense.
for sure,
But,
for sure.
if you think about their impact and influence, these guys were their own thing.
Yeah. They inspired quite a few bands, though.
Yeah, are they rap metal? Are they new metal? I don't know.
I think they started it.
New metal is Linkin Park. It's who else? It's
Audio
POD.
Slave,
POD. But that's early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's early
Nickelback,
2000s.
kind
So,
of.
I mean, are they starting it here? I don't
think
know.
it's the beginnings of it. It's different than grunge. And because that was what was happening at that time. Grunge was
Well, and they had more of a grunge sound than a metal sound.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
But it was
there's
also
metal
still
elements
very-
all over
yeah,
in their music.
Yeah, but it was also just different enough that it wasn't like your typical grunge.
Yeah.
So, they spawned bands like System of a Down, Linkin Park, Audio Slave, of course, which was their own spin-off. Their activism influenced generations of politically minded musicians.
Obviously, I think they opened that door up for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Now, their original run went from 1991 to 2000. You had 9 years of solid Rage Against the Machine. I saw them in 99, so I saw them at the tail end. Reunited in 2007 through 2011, and then again in 2019 to 2024.
But not much happens between 2019 and 2024.
No, really, not a lot. They did a few dates around, but otherwise that was it. They didn't really release any new music or anything like that.
Well, in 2019, it was reported that they were reuniting for their first shows in 9 years in spring of 2020, including Coachella. November 2019, an alleged leaked tour poster made its way online that they would be touring throughout 2020. It was debunked by the Australian publication Wall of Sound, which broke the news that a concert poster troll photoshopped and released it online as a prank. But on February 10th of 2020, Rage Against the Machine announced more worldwide dates for 2020. That eventually ends up getting canceled by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yep.
They postponed the tour until 2021. 2022, they play their first concert in 11 years at the Alpine Valley Music Theater in East Troy, Wisconsin.
That was where I saw them.
East Troy in 2022?
Yep. That was, well, no, but East Troy, Wisconsin. That's where I saw them.
De La Rocha injures his Achilles tendon during a Chicago show in July. They canceled their European tour and their remaining North American tour dates.
That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
That was pretty much it. It doesn't really get into that, but there's a lot of inner turmoil or whatever it is. I don't know. I think most of it was Zach De La Rocha.
Yeah.
Just kind of being a prima donna.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal was, but he just essentially said, "I'm done," and we're done. They were nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and inducted in 2023.
Yep. And only Tom Morello, I believe, attended.
Yes.
If I remember right.
Yeah.
Now, in between those times that Rage broke up and got back together, there were several different projects that they worked on. Audio Slave, of course, the big one, which was Morello, Comerford, Wilk, and Chris Cornell, which just an amazing band.
They were a great band. They were
So
a great
good.
band. Yep.
I wish I would have seen them live, but I didn't get the chance. The Night Watchman, Morello's folk protest persona. One Day as a Lion is Zach's project. And then Prophets of Rage came out when they,
Prophets of Rage,
yeah, they couldn't get the whole Rage Against the Machine touring again, so he brought out members of Public Enemy and Cypress Hill and called it Prophets of Rage. And they actually released an album, I think. Maybe two. I don't
It was
remember.
a good album.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Yeah.
It is very reminiscent of Rage Against the Machine, but still was missing that Zach De La Rocha swagger.
Sure.
Now, Zach has given rare interviews, intense. He's got stage presence galore, deeply private person as well. Left the band in 2000 over creative and political differences. His absence always felt like the missing piece in reunions. Zach is one of the most powerful frontmen ever and one of the most mysterious. Like, there's not a lot people know about him. He keeps very much to himself. Tom Morello, on the other hand, he's the scientist of sound. Harvard educated, did you know that?
I did not.
Political science major. Reinvented guitar playing without relying on traditional solos, and is one of the most influential guitarists of the last 30 years. Why they broke up? Well, multiple times internal tension between Zach and the rest of the band. That's basically what it all boils down to. Disagreements over political messaging versus commercial success. Physical injuries, of course, also we talked about that derailed their 2022 and 23 tour. Rage burned so hot they couldn't stay together, but they couldn't stay apart either. So
it becomes official in late 2024. Brad Wilkes says, that we've disbanded again.
We're
Who
done.
knows what
Yeah.
the future holds, but
I don't think we're gonna see them get back together again. I don't know that. I mean, maybe somebody will come up with the money and that'll be the thing that brings Zach back. But I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, their music's still more relevant now than it was in the '90s. I mean, if you think about it, some of the stuff that they're talking about.
well, I mean, I guess that's the thing with political songs throughout our lifetime.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's president. There's still those issues.
There's still something that's going to be reminiscent of hearing about the discord over the various wars or whatever.
Right.
There are people that like that in their music. I figure if you have a First Amendment rights, then you got the guitar and you got the money and microphone and all you need, and you want to put out a song about that, it's fine. But
generally I don't go for protest songs either, but
yeah,
they made them so powerful and good that you couldn't deny it.
well, and if you think about the politically charged, I think most of that was folk.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, we're coming out of the bubblegum rock of the 50s.
Right.
The pop, everything's just, sunshine and lollipops.
Right.
And, you got the house, the 2 kids, the 1 car, garage.
Yep.
It's just bubblegummy.
Yes.
And
very
then
much
and
so.
then you get someone that wants to, the Vietnam War happens, and that
changed a lot.
That changed a lot. And a lot
There
of
was a
people
lot
had
boiling
things to
over
say.
in that. There was a lot of just political.
There
things
was,
going on at that time.
in the 60s. So coming out of that bubblegum era, that had to be kind of a face smack to people at the time too. That, oh wow, we're not singing about the conservative lifestyle anymore.
Right.
We're singing about protests.
Yeah.
And how we don't do this. So obviously I was not alive in the 50s, but I can imagine how, that would have been a smack to the face. It would have been, whoa, okay, this is something different.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And of course, the times today. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm surprised we haven't had another Rage Against the Machine type, born out of this yet. I can't think of one that would compare.
I think that. And we're this is not a political conversation.
No, we're talking music.
Yeah, we're talking music. I think that at the time when this protest music is coming out, it's on one solid issue.
It's true. Yeah.
Whereas today
there's so many.
There's so many issues that these artists can attach themselves to, whether it be genuine or for clicks and streams or whatever.
Right.
But they're singing about what's that word I can't say?
I don't know which one.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation. I forgot already.
An amalgamation
Yeah.
of things to speak out against now, whereas before it was the Vietnam War.
Yeah, the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Yep. I see that. Well, their music is, like I said, more relevant now than it was in the 90s. Their message resonates with new generations discovering activism to the day. Their sound remains unmatched. No one has successfully replicated it, and I don't think anybody ever will.
No, I think they're one of those bands that's just unique. It's its own pie.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just love Rage Against the Machine.
Me too.
I unfortunately have never seen them live.
I really wish I wish Zach would just, come to his senses, do a tour for the fans. You don't have to do it all the time. Maybe once every 5 years, go out, give the fans a little hi, how you doing, excitement, reason to care.
Yes, but you can say that about any band and any artist.
You can. But not many people got to see these guys either.
No, but you can take. Let's talk about one of your favorite '80s bands, Skid Row.
Yes.
Okay, now Skid Row was a great band. Sebastian Bach hasn't been in Skid Row for
years.
Decades. They're out looking for a singer, and
Yep.
you keep, for those of us that were Skid Row fans, we go, why don't you just get Sebastian Bach?
Yeah.
But the members of Skid Row have just said, you know what?
It's not worth it.
You can give us all the money in the world.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything to us if we're not happy on stage with the person that we're performing with.
And I get that too.
And,
I do get that.
And they don't want to phone it in.
Nope.
If you don't want to be on stage with that person.
It's true.
And we've seen that throughout the decades of things that are forced.
It's true.
And it just doesn't work.
It's true.
There was a reunion tour in the early 90s of Yes. Do you remember that?
No.
They decided to do this album. The members of Yes. There's like 3 over here working on music, and there's 3 over here, and it's Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe, and Yes. But John Anderson They want John Anderson to sing on the Anderson, Bruford, and Wakeman album.
Yeah.
And eventually what happens is they're like, well, let's just call it a Yes album. They combine both versions of them into Yes.
Yeah.
They call it the Union album. They go out on tour with anyone that's ever been in Yes, essentially. And this tour is not really successful because you've got people on this stage that don't want to be on the stage together.
Yeah, I get that.
And it just came across in the shows.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
of course you'd want, you know, if they do a reunion, you want it for the right reasons and for, you know, them to be into it. You know, you don't want them to just phone it in.
well, I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and say, you know, if I was a guitar player in a band or whatever, and you're going to offer me $1 million to play with Andy, who I can't stand,
Right.
I'm going to take your $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. And put up with me for an hour or two.
You're talking about an hour, hour and a half. Okay, you're going to go on a tour, all right? You're going to do, what are you going to do? You're going to do 50 dates? You're playing an hour and a half a night.
Yeah.
Take your own damn bus.
Yep.
All you got to do is walk on the stage.
Exactly.
You got to be friendly, you know, watch out for your bros who ain't tripping over, you know, his microphone cord or whatever.
Yeah.
Go off the stage and go do your thing. David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar did that for a lot of dates. That was a disastrous attempt.
It was a disaster. But they made it work, and the fans loved it.
And they made money off that.
And they made money off
They
it.
made a lot of money off
absolutely
that.
did.
But it's something that should have never, ever happened.
Pissed off Eddie Van Halen, too.
Well, I mean, it was quite the coup to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
it really was. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that sometime. Maybe in a Van Halen episode. We'll just
maybe.
Do something like that.
Is that a new band? Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Van Halen?
Yeah, so you should check them out.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, they're kind of good. Anyway, I think that pretty much, wraps things up, right? About
yeah,
Rage.
I mean, I would like to see the members of Rage Against the Machine. Tom Morello, he's out there playing for everybody. He organized that whole Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath final show. He's an intelligent man, a creative man, an organized man, a fantastic musician. He just recently canceled his solo dates. He's going to go out. He was invited by his friend Bruce Springsteen to come out with the E Street Band and play on
the
select
E Street.
songs.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and he's played with Bruce and the E Street Band.
Yep.
Covering over the years, but he thought, you know what, this just sounds like fun to go hang out with Bruce for it's multiple dates.
Well, they did a song for the Minneapolis, deal that happened this year with. Ice. So they came up with a protest song and released that, and I guess they're just going to go out and tour.
Yeah. Now, the other three guys, you can go out. It's like the Creed Alter Bridge thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just go get a different singer. You don't have to call it Audio Slave.
No.
But call it something else.
Create something else, yeah.
I mean, Audio Slave sounded different than Rage Against the Machine.
Very much, yeah.
But you still have that core of musicians who belongs playing together, especially the drummer and the bass player.
Yes, agreed.
Comerford and Wilkes are the two of the best rhythm sections ever.
Yes, agreed.
And you
it's
can
a
get
crime that they're not still doing.
Yeah, you can get a different singer. It doesn't have to be Audio Slave. Would I like to hear them Audio Slave songs live again? I would. I think.
Me too.
I think there should be someone out there
that can
singing the Rage songs. Yeah. Someone should be out there doing the Audio Slave songs. Who knows what the future is going to hold. I'd like to see them get back together just because I want to see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rage Against the Machine's a band definitely worth checking out. And
you can watch live performance on YouTube at any time, and you won't be disappointed.
And the younger audience is finding them.
Yeah.
Through the all the protesting and whatnot that's been going on over the last 10 years, they're finding Rage Against the Machine. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, anytime old music can come to new ears,
It's good.
it's a good deal.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
I'm always surprised when someone knows an artist I listen to, because
Same.
I go, how can anyone? No one's going to know who this is. And I'll send it to them, and they're like, "Oh, Father of Peace."
Yes.
Okay. Father of Peace, you turned me on to?
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
This summer.
Yeah.
They're a really awesome band.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so I share music with people. You're the only one that's good at it, but I share music with my friend Jamal down in Florida. And so he sends back, he's like, hey, have you ever heard of this band in Father of Peace? And I'd heard of both of them, but I'm like, oh, and here I thought, it was just Andy and I that knew that.
A Father of Peace.
A Father of Peace. So it's nice when, new ears find new, or old ears find new stuff, and new ears find old stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's fun.
cool.
I love discovering music.
Yeah. Well, who knows what we're going to talk about in the future.
Yeah. I know coming up in about a month, WrestleMania weekend, we're going to try to get John back with us and talk a little how music and wrestling go together.
Music and wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah, this is part of our series of music and sports. I think. Is there a second one? Yeah, I believe it's our second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly music and wrestling was not as impactful in the 80s as it is now.
Right.
Music and wrestling really suit each other, whereas before it maybe didn't. So yeah, it'll be interesting to talk about some of the songs and some of the stupidity, and
we talk about the album that came out that had
Hulk
Hogan singing.
We can talk about Rick Derringer. Yeah, it'll be a neat episode.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that with other stuff in the future. But
yep.
Anyway,
we got the Kenny Rogers.
We're talking about Kenny Rogers coming up. We'll talk about Sabrina Carpenter coming up.
Yep.
I want to kind of spend some time maybe talking about some new artists that I think are important, like Lola Young.
Okay. All right. We'll
Lola, right? Lola?
I think you share the song with me. Yeah. So there's we'll maybe do an underground episode too, where I'll bring up some of my underground bands that we'll talk about.
We need to get a hold of my friend Alex again about coming in and talking about independent music.
Yeah.
We we talked about so many ideas last year we never got to.
I know.
And we're doing the same thing already this year.
Already.
But that's the great thing about the Music Matters podcast, is it's only about music. There's just tons and tons of ideas, and we were just discussing, in our pre-production meeting, how if we don't write it down, we forget the idea. I mean, I have to sit there. It's like a songwriter. You're sound asleep on your bunk. You're 7 miles to the next town, and you get this melody in your head. You got to wake yourself up and into the tape recorder so that you don't forget it. And it's the same thing with ideas for this show. It's like, I need a piece of paper.
Write this down.
This is a great idea, but I can't find the pen.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Well, hey, it was a good time.
It was. And Rage Against the Machine is awesome, so go check them out. This has been the Music Matters podcast. I'm Monkey Boy.
I'm Ziggy.
We'll talk to you next time.